Alex Picca, Corporate Executive Chef with FLIK Hospitality. Today I'm going to take you through the new FLIK Brownie available through Baldor. I'm going to take you through a few stages of the process, the mixing, the baking, and I'm going to show you a few things that we can do with this. This is how the product will come to you. There's 8 bags to the box. Each bag contains exactly 2.75 pounds of the mix. And I'll go over the rest of the mix with you, but this is how it'll arrive, and I want to take a minute to show you how to prepare the pan. So I do advise it should only be done in a half sheet pan. It'll take 25 minutes. It'll bake perfectly in a half sheet pan, and I do advise everybody to get the collars. They're available through M. Tucker, and absolutely do not use any parchment with this. We've done a few different tests, and it works out very well. So I'll spray the pan very liberally. There's 2 sides to the collar. The one with the crescent ends are the ones that always go in the bottom because it fits perfectly. And then I'll take the spray and just spray the insides of the collar. And then we're ready to go. So now that we've got the pan set, and we're going to start going with the mixing process, which to me is incredibly simple, but really, really makes it perfect. There's eggs, there's butter, and there's the mix. It can't be simpler than that. So the recipe is done. It's right on the box for you. Right now I'm going to take the 9 eggs. Really important that I'm just going to whip these lightly in this bowl. Now, a key to melting the butter, what I like to do, I don't go all the way on the stove. I'll leave probably a quarter of the butter still solid, take it off the heat, and let that temper so it'll already start to cool the butter while still melting. And as you can see, I've got it perfectly melted. A real important tip, if the pan is still warm, to make it a little bit quicker, I'll pour it into a cool bowl. It's not cold, but it's just tepid. And it's really important that I don't take hot butter into the eggs. I don't want to cook them, and I don't want it to break. So now at this point, I'm just going to take my cooled butter. And I'm just going to whip this lightly. And as you can see, it's emulsifying. It's not breaking. It's really the perfect temperature. Those are the 2 really easy steps. Now I've got a bowl with the mix. The liquid's going to go into the dry. Now I get my rubber spatula, clean out the bowl. You don't need a whip for this. I really just like to fold this. I fold it in just to get the wet. And I find just by doing it by hand works really well. It's really quickly. If I need to do multiple pans, I'll have 2 of everything set up. So right after this, I can go right into the next one. So all I want to do is just fold it right now, get all the wet with the dry, just so I can get it started. You don't really need to mix it real hard, and believe it or not, in like less than a minute, I've got the perfect batter right here. As you can see, it's starting to come together. It's not breaking. It's working really well. The powder really molds in very well. Walk you through. The next step is where we take the batter, into the prepared pan. And as you can see, there's no parchment in here. I just sprayed the collar and the pan. Make sure we get it all in. Now it's starting to stiffen a little bit, which is fine. It will melt. What I like to do is take an offset spatula and just kind of work it in a little bit, just as if you were icing a cake. Help it get into the corners. And it doesn't have to be really even. It will melt level, but I just like to get it started. And as you can tell, the mix, the eggs, the butter work perfectly in this half pan. I've got it all in the corners. I just level it a little bit through. Clean it up. And we're ready to go to the oven. So now the prepared pan of brownie is going to go into a 340 degree oven. What I like to do is put it on a low fan for 25 minutes, and it'll come out perfect. So we've got the brownies out now. I only let them sit about 10 or 15 minutes. I don't want them completely cool. I find that when they're still warm, it's easier to release the collar. So I like to use the bench scraper. It works better than a knife for me. So what I do, I just drag it along the ends. If I feel a little crunch, I can press it, and then I use the entire weight of it to just lift it up so that I don't tear any of it. And you can kind of feel it. If you need to go back in, you have that crunch there. And then I'll just lift the collar up. I pre-scored these already, so it's 24 cut. If you want, we can always cut this on a diagonal, and then you can use that for catering. So I'm just going to do a little diagonal cut there. And again, we didn't use any parchment paper, and they come really, really well out. And I'm going to show you the finished product. I mean, it's really nice and moist. Please. So now that I've showed you the brownies for your cafe, I wanted to show you another way to use this product, either for catering or conference center or for parties. So it's the exact same mix. It's 2.75, 9 eggs, a pound of butter. This is a flexi mold. It's a 44 count. You can get it through M. Tucker. And what I found is using the 1 ounce scoop, I can fill 44 exactly molds with the one mix. Even though it's flexi, I still like to spray just a little bit because of the chocolate. It just helps pop it out, and I'm guaranteed that if you need a catering event in 30 minutes, you've got it popped out. So this doesn't have to be over full, about 3/4, and just scoops right in. You can, believe it, it will melt in, but I like to take the offset and just get it started. And that's really all you do. 15 minutes, 340 degree oven, comes out perfect. Let them cool a little bit, turn them over, they pop right out, and then we'll show you what a platter should look like.